not good at filming. Okay, it's all right. I have time. I can literally film this for an hour and I would have an hour clip worth of footage for me to be able to use. So editor Haley, do not worry, do not stress. It is all good. Hi everybody, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be redecorating my bookshelves. Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna reorganize my bookshelf today. We are gonna do a bookshelf tour because I tried to film a reorganize my bookshelf with me video. It didn't really go to plan, didn't really go well, didn't really like it. The fan was on the entire time, so the only good clip that I caught, not usable because, as you guessed it, there's wind noise in the back of this video. I've got a lot of random knickknacks that I probably have too much of. I should probably do something about that. That frustrated me. There were just a lot of things about that video that were just cursed. I was in a weird mood. It didn't really work out. I'll put in what clips I can of a bookshelf reorganization video. I would love to do that at some point. But the problem is, I already reorganized my bookshelves and I already kind of like how they look. So I'm just gonna do a tour instead. Because instead of faking my way through it, taking them all down, pretending like I didn't already do it, I thought I would just be real with y'all and just be like, look, I wanted to film a bookshelf reorganization video. I'll use what clips I can, like I mentioned before, but I really like the way my bookshelves look and I don't want to have to do that again to myself or be a liar. So we're just gonna do a bookshelf tour. So we're gonna see if I run out of things to say. I realize it is 7 o'clock at night and I have all of these in which need to be taken down and re-uploaded, re-added back to the shelves. I'm stuck. They look fine. So I thought I would take you guys along with me and show you just what There's a mixture of organization and a mixture of not organization, and I want to fix that because we've got shelves like Outlander. We have shelves like A Court of Thorns and Roses and Crescent City. The first book on a different shelf. Why? It was my TBR shelf. Is it still? Not really. We've got random romance books, popular books, Stephen King. I don't even know if this shelf is in the frame, but this shelf is driving me crazy, and that shelf is mostly empty. They're also dusty. Okay, I was gonna film me cleaning them, but I already cleaned them because the camera wasn't recording. Today's going great. It's filming today, it's going great. Anyway, I want to show you guys the books that I have currently splayed out on my bed and kind of my attack for putting them in there. I know I already mentioned kind of what my attack was, but now that I see them, I can verbally kind of figure out, talk my way through what I want them to look like. So these are all the books that I currently have. That little guy is a fake book that has all my bookmarks in them. Okay, hi, editor Haley here. I never filmed a transition video. This video has been the craziest thing to edit because I have tried to film so many things and it's just not been recording. The clip that I had that basically showed the transition from my bookshelf organization video to my bookshelf tour video, never got recorded. The next clip you are seeing is the one that shows me basically starting to give my bookshelf tour. Never had this many problems in a video before. I'm working with the tools that I've got. Sorry if it's a little chaotic. I'm hoping that the videos, as I do this more, I'll get better at it. But that was my attempt at a bookshelf reorganization video. It did not work out the way that I envisioned it. It did not work out well. The lighting was wrong. Everything is just wrong. And I just thought that this would be a fun way to show my book reorganization, but also just show the behind the scenes technicalities and issues of what it's like to become a new book YouTuber. It's just new, everything, just nothing works as well as you want it to. And it's just crazy trying to learn all the ropes along the way. So I hope that it's okay and it turns out all right. I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm just thankful for those of you that are watching. So here is a bookshelf tour of all my books now that they are organized the way that I would like them to be. I am going to scream. I have filmed this twice and I have not been recording both times. So we're gonna try it again one more time, because this is the kind of technicalities that I was having issues with when I was filming the bookshelf reorganization video. So anyway. Okay, we are going to start off by going over and reviewing all of the books that are on these shelves. I am really excited to go over these with you guys because I really like this bookshelf. I like the way that it's organized and it's structured. I'm gonna start with the top. So these books up here at the very, very top are the Harry Potter books that I own and everything that I have that's related to it as well. So we have The Cursed Child and the Fantastic Beasts books, my little record player, and then the incomplete Aragon series that I have that I do want to eventually finish in collecting, but I honestly got these at a thrift sale and got them on a really good discount, so I grabbed them, and these were the only ones I could find. I think what I want to do is eventually find the last book in the series, find out which one it is, and get it and complete it by the time I start reading it. So those are those books at the very top. So starting on the first shelf on this bookcase, I have Chaucer and the Canterbury Tales and Dream Visions and other poems, that I took for a class. We have Ender's Game, A Tale of Two Cities, George Eliot's The Mill on the Floss, and Jane Eyre. Now, the really cool thing about the Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre books that I have are that they are from 1974 Oxford. So these I obtained from my professor whenever he was going through his books and getting rid of a lot of them, and so he signed them and dated them, and I am just obsessed with them. This one I don't think he dated, he just wrote his name in it, but I am obsessed with them, and they are just a little worn for wear, but I just really think that they are just beautiful, and the aging on them is just, it makes them so cool to me. So this little guy is Ian Forster's A Passage to India. I'm not familiar with this at all. I just know that I am slightly familiar with some of Ian Forster's work, so I grabbed it from my professor when he was getting rid of it as well. We have Tess of D'Urbervilles. I'm probably butchering that, but... And then we have all of the Jane Austen books, her entire collection. I have this big boy here. That has all of her collected works. I got it a long time ago, so I had it and then have since acquired all of these because I took another Jane Austen class while I was in college, and I had to get the Norton Anthology versions to annotate while I was taking classes. So Pride and Prejudice is on the bottom just because I finished it in July. I reread it in July, and I'm hoping to make my way back through all of the other ones soon. I also have her manuscripts and the works of Nathaniel Hawthorne. I have House of the Seven Gables, which was acquired at the House of Seven Gables in Salem, which is really, really cool. And I just think it's a beautiful cover, and it was just, look how beautiful this cover is. Isn't it just gorgeous? I have no idea what the book's about, but... We also have the Scarlet Letter, which I attained also at Salem, at the House of Seven Gables in Salem, but it was really, really cool to grab it where he was born and at his house. We've also got D.H. Lawrence's The Rainbow, H.P. Lovecraft's selection of stories. I have not read this one yet. I want to. Maybe I'll do that sometime around Halloween. We've also got Ian McEwan's Atonement, The Moviegoer, The Heart of Midlothian, Mockingbird, The Picture of Dorian Gray, When I went to Salem last year, I went to the Lizzie Borden house, and that is some brick dust from the actual Lizzie Borden house collected from the basement. And this little ornament that I got that says the Lizzie Borden Inn. I have these little memorabilia here. And I also have some Virginia Woolf, whom I'm not a fan of and should honestly get rid of. So this leads me to this bookshelf here, which has a lot of my school books on it, as well as the start of my literary fiction collection. Also, look, oh, it's so heavy. Look at how beautiful these bookends are. These are made out of quartz, I think, and they are just gorgeous. So we have in this shelf, we have just my literary fiction and my other classics that I had for school. So I had Heart of Darkness, 39 Steps, Roxana, Elective Affinities, A Sicilian Romance, Evelina, Memoirs of a Courtney, a bunch of these classics that I took for school that are probably not well known. Then we've got Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, a graphic novel. We've got Epitaph for a Spy, Longbourn, which is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but through Hill, who is the maid in the Bennet household. We've got Cocaine Nights, J.G. Ballard's, a lot of Kazuo Ishiguro books, The Midnight Library. And we have some Le Carre, Donna Tartt, The Goldfinch, and Wide Sargasso Sea. This shelf is mostly just reserved for knitting and other things, but I do have a few classics down here just to kind of keep them somewhere and honestly make this bookshelf seem a lot more cozy and booky. So we have All the Light We Cannot See, which was acquired from a bookstore in Amsterdam by a friend. I'm very excited about this copy. And then we have The Starless Sea and The Secret History. The Starless Sea was annotated by another one of my good friends, and she honestly is just amazing. I just love it so much. And then finally, this shelf down here is my more or less exciting stuff that I have. It's my writing fiction, anything that has to do with writing, I tend to put down here. Some books that I had for business classes and nonfiction memoirs that I have, the Dave Grohl Storyteller and Ozzy Osbourne, and a book on Led Zeppelin. And then over here we have my high school yearbook and a little Freddie Mercury and the little blue guy and the little orange, little fiery are from the Labyrinth. And it's just kind of a catch-all shelf on this shelf. So that is this shelf here. So yeah, so that's that bookshelf. I wish I could get it all in frame. Okay, is there somewhere I can put this to where it's all in frame? We're gonna do it. We're gonna see. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get this all in frame. Don't know how, but it's gonna happen. Ta-da! I did it. Just kidding. It looks like shit, so that's fine. Okay, moving on to the other bookcases in my room. So that bookcase is kind of mostly reserved for a lot of just stuff that I'm kind of throwing that I need storage for. My current reads are on there and my August TBR. So actually so there's nothing really to see on this bookshelf. The Fourth Wing and the character arc books are the books I'm currently reading. I have some journals and my Switch that has been dead for a long time and actually now has battery issues. I have these set aside just because these are my August TBRs that I hope to start. We're nearing the middle of the month now, so I haven't even had a chance to start these because I'm still finishing Fourth Wing and the character arcs book, so hopefully I'll finish those soon and be able to start on this book. Shatter Me, I know I'll be able to start next weekend, and I don't know about Crescent City. It might be more of a September start now, but we shall see. Let's go look over here at these beauties that I reorganized. We're just gonna go through them instead because I'm not taking all this down just to refilm another video and I can't hold this thing straight to save my life. I'm doing great. You can see, this is the only way I can get this entire thing in this shot. So I'm just gonna pan down and let you see this entire bookshelf before. Okay, so the very top shelf is my general fantasy books that I have. So these are more adult fantasy besides the Neil Gaiman books. That is, yeah, no, these are more adult fantasy. We've got, honestly, don't know what this one is. The Fires of Vengeance. I got it free at a book sale. So we have that one. It's a second It's the second in a series. Look at that. So I need to acquire the first one because I don't know anything about this. So I have that one. And the Priory of the Orange Tree, which I want to get the paperback of the second one, and they'll look beautiful right next to each other. Have not read that. Have not read that. Have I read any of these? I'm reading that one. I read that one. I've read that one. Cool. So I've read 2 books on this shelf. Great. I have a problem. I think most of these I have not read. Okay, anyway, so we have the Priory of the Orange Tree. We have the trilogy of The Discovery of Witches. The only reason I have all 3 of them is because they are technically my mom's and they are in a box set. So the next ones I have a lot of all my Neil Gaiman books that I have. I put The Doctor on top of him because he wrote a couple episodes of Doctor Who. I hope to eventually read this one because I watched the show, and the show, while beautiful, had a lot of issues. So I'm wondering what the source material is like. So I want to eventually read that as well. I've heard it's really, really good, and it's a lot better than the show. So we have Circe. We also have the book cover for Fourth Wing because the book is currently on my currently reading shelf. So, but I just don't want to damage it, so it's over here. We have Water for Elephants, These Violent Delights, and the first book in the From Blood and Ash series, both of which are part of a series that I do hope to get at some point soon. So they're not going to live there for long. The next shelf is my Sarah J. Maas shrine, basically, because I put a crown on top of it just because she is a queen and I love her very much. We have the A Court of Thorns and Roses book series, a special edition, the first book in the Throne of Glass series, and then we have the second book in the Crescent City because the first book is on my August TBR shelf. I have this because let me explain. These are part of a box set. That is the box. Until I get more of these series, I don't want just an empty shelf. So I have made it and designated the space out for her by making it a shrine and a Sarah J. Maas shelf. Isn't she beautiful? We love her. This bookshelf is my mystery thrillers and YA thrillers. So we have Karen Slaughter, Pretty Girls, Once There Were Wolves, Death Comes to Pemberley, Jane Steele, A History of Wild Places, Among the Wicked, The Distant Hours, A Flicker in the Dark, No Exit, J.D. Robb's Naked in Death, and The Silence of the Lambs. We've got Perks of a Ring of Wallflower, which is honestly my favorite book on this shelf because this book has made me cry, and so is the movie. We have None Shall Sleep, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and Mary Shelley's book club. The Mary Shelley Club. Again, most of these have not read. I read No Exit recently. It was not good, in my opinion. A lot of people have given it 5 stars. I had an issue with the main character, and not the main character, I had a main issue with the antagonist. I had a main issue with the antagonist. Don't know why I'm saying main issue, but I had an issue with the antagonist. He was very much, in my opinion, the kind of antagonist that is like, oh, I am here, and here's my villain monologue, and I'm just gonna rage, and I'm so angry, and here's the reason why, and all these things. And I just didn't like it. So I think I actually highlighted throughout this book all the things I did not like and all the cringy things. I personally don't recommend it, but if you want to figure out why, maybe you'll like it. Maybe other people will like it. I don't know, but I didn't care for it personally. So this next shelf, well, that kind of explains itself. It is my Twilight shelf, and I put the moon next to it because I thought I was funny. New moon, moon. I'm Team Edward, so I don't know why I have the moon there like I'm Team Jacob. I hate filming on my phone. I hate it so much. Anyway, moon phases don't even impact Jacob. Why do I act like they do? They don't. But I just think I'm funny, and that I put him by there next to it. That was a sentence that I said. Anyway, before I lose any more brain cells by trying to talk to the camera, this is the first book in the Ember and the Ashes series, the first book in the Cruel Prince series, the first book in the Kingdom of the Wicked, the first book in the Vampire Academy, the first book in Shadow and Bone, and then we've got Under the Whispering Door and Firekeeper's Daughter. All of which are first books in a series that I am planning on intending to buy the entirety of. So when I run out of space, that'll be interesting because then I won't know what to do with my moon next to the new moon book. It's a problem. It's a problem. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have so many first books in a series. This is gonna be really bad whenever I start dating like all of them. This is gonna be really bad. It's great. It's going good. Keep going. Let's keep going. We're like almost halfway through. So we're 2/3 of the way through. We're almost 2/3 of the way through. So we've got one more shelf after this, and then we've got one more of those guys. Okay, this bottom shelf is just kind of, it just holds a lot of my bookends that I have that I don't have room for on my other shelves. So until I reorganize them in a different way, that is where they live. And then we have my one science fiction novel, Dune, and then some randomly acquired Hardy Boys books. And this book isn't even a real book. It's not even a real book. It holds my bookmarks. That is the entirety. I'm standing on my bed. That is the entirety of that bookshelf. Anyway, we should go look at the other books on this shelf. That's not me. I used to play that cello, but that's not me. It looks like me, but it's not me. So here's this bookshelf. Isn't she a beaut? We love her just as much as we love the other one, but the other one has some of my very favorite books on it, so we're not going to show favorites. This bookshelf has books on them. Don't really know what genre they fall under, but these are all kind of books that have historical elements to them in a way, and I didn't know where to put them because they didn't really fit with other books. So, I mean, I could have put Lord of the Rings over in the fantasy books, but why do that to myself when that shelf is already full and I could stick it here? So we've got the Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Invisible Life of, why don't I actually zoom out so you can see? We have Before the Coffee Gets Cold, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, V.E. Schwab's Vicious, The Essex Serpent, Interview with the Vampire 1 and 2, Lord of the Rings, and The Night Circus and Daisy Jones. Daisy Jones does not fit with these. But Daisy Jones is the only book of its kind that I have, and I don't know where to put her, so she's stuck in with Lord of the Rings. The next shelf is my romance shelf. It has a lot of the Crossfire series that I have and own. I don't own the complete series, but it was a box set that I got for Christmas one year, and I hope to attain all of the 2 others, I think, that are left in the series. I'm not entirely sure. Hope to get those at some point soon. If you love a good trash read, I like the Crossfire series for it. It's really good. Then we've got Beach Read, we've got the X-Hex, we've got Book Lovers, and the second book in the Twisted Love series. I need to get the first book in the series and then follow them up with the rest of them, but I have the second one for now, so that is that shelf. That shelf will probably grow as I read more romance. Yes, I have a Jamie Fraser cutout. Don't ask me about it. These are my Outlander books. It's an Outlander shrine. I've been reading Outlander for several years now, and I love it. The first 3 books, canon. I need to talk about Outlander for a minute because I should do like an Outlander review or something, because I could spend an entire episode talking about how much I love Outlander, but then also how much I have problems with it. But not the writing. The writing itself is beautiful. I'm used to Diana's writing. It's just great. But the first 3 books are my favorite. Everything else after that has not held my attention as much as the first 3 books, and I am really sad about that. Anyway, I felt like that was meant to be said. I need to read book 7. I need to read book 7, but I've been reading Outlander for consistently about 4 years now, so I need to take a break. So I'm taking a break and reading other books that are on my TBR shelf, and I'll pick up that book later. Okay, this next shelf underneath the Outlander, the beautiful Outlander shelf, we have the horror section. So I have a couple random books, and then I have Grady Hendrix books. Technically, I think The Butcher and the Wren should go on a thriller shelf. Do I have room on my thriller shelf? No, I don't think I do, so I'm gonna leave it here. We have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This book is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher. I finally can remember the title of it. And it's interesting. That's all I'm going to say about that one. We've got The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart. If you listen to Morbid Podcast, she is awesome, and we love her as well. So I, of course, supported her and got her book. Have I read it? No, but I will. So then we've also got my 3 Grady Hendrix novels that I own, all the Stephen King books that I own. Have I read any of them? I've read this one, and I've read it. That's about it. These are all the books that I have left, and these are the true crime books that I own. So we have Helter Skelter, Bloods, Bullets, and Bones. I don't know where I found that one. I got it on Amazon somewhere. We have The Tale of the White City, The Devil in the White City, and that's about H.H. Holmes. We've got Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered by the lovely ladies over at My Favorite Murder, good grief. And then we've got Forensics, The Killer Across the Table, Mindhunter, and I'll Be Gone in the Dark. All of them are really good true crime books that I've heard are really good, but I have not read except for Mindhunter. I've read Mindhunter, as you can see in my little tabs. So, all right, everybody, that about wraps it up. Those are my bookshelves that I have with me, behind me. There's every book that I own, both in here and in my office. So if you liked it, tell me how your books are organized, because I really want to know if it's similar to how I do it or if I just organize them in a really weird way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really think that organizing your bookshelves kind of reflects who you are and how your mind process actually kind of works. I think that's really cool. I think it's really fun. I really do enjoy the way that they look. I mean, just look at them. The lights are a mess, but they are just gorgeous. They look so full. I love them. I love my books. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have made it this far, leave me a plant emoji, because that is what I have over there, and that's the first thing that came to mind. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.